Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. If it's your first time here, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you never miss a video. Today we're going to be discussing a movie that pissed me off, but that I still enjoyed. And the movie stars the handsome and talented Sidney Poitier and Paul Newman. The movie is set in France in 1961, and basically the plot of the movie is that Sidney Poitier and Paul Newman play in a jazz band in a French nightclub, and Ram Bowen, Paul Newman's character, is struggling to find his sound as an artist. And in the first scene, what I do love is that you see a mix of all races. You see black, white, Asian people. There's even gay couples in the club, and they're just like openly being affectionate, and nobody's giving a shit, which I love. That's very surprising to see due to the atmosphere of racism in 1961. It sets the scene in France at the time where it seemed to be a safe haven for black people. The film also features legendary musician Louis Armstrong.
Ram! Ram boy! How are you?
And the couples in the movie were actually couples in real life. Paul Newman was married to his love interest at the time, and Sidney Poitier was having an affair with his. But we're not going to get into that tea. Ram meets Connie, who's played by Diane Carroll, on a train. She's looking for her friend when this scene happens.
Girlfriend as pretty as you are?
Yes. She's a white girl.
It might be hard to find. All these white girls look alike.
It's very clear that he's interested in her. He helps her with her bags, translates for her, and even tells her to come see him play at the club. Afterwards, Connie and her friend Lillian go to the club to see him play. Lillian is having a moment watching him play. It's very weird. Anyways, so at the end of the show, they wait after, and Eddie attempts to leave with both of the girls. Messy. Ram sees this and gets enraged and accuses Eddie of trying to steal both of the girls, which he was.
Say, are you gonna take off without saying goodbye?
I didn't even get a hello from you.
Lillian calling? Rambo.
Hello.
How are you? What's your name, honey?
But I personally think he was just doing that to get under his skin. Ram starts acting like a childish baby.
You thought what?
Thought you knew.
No, you thought you were gonna run off with her, right?
And then afterwards, he apologizes for his rudeness to the girls. And then Connie's friend Lillian chases after him and basically throws herself at this man. Like, she was begging for him. And he made it clear that he was not interested in her. He wanted her friend.
Kid, you don't want me for what you want. In the States, when you got nothing to do, maybe. But in Paris, I'd just be a waste of a good vacation. There are companies that take care of tourists.
And it's just crazy to me. How are you going to throw yourself at a man that does not want you, wanted your friend, and keeps telling you that he's not interested? So she basically ends up going home and sleeping with Ram because, he's like, well, since I can't have your friend, I guess I'll sleep with you. And keep in mind, the club that Ram works at, he's sleeping with the woman that sings there. And she knows that he's having affairs. So Lillian and Ram, they sleep together. And in the morning, Ram finds a picture of her 2 kids.
What do? Collect dolls?
No. Those are for the kids. My kids. I have 2 children.
She has 2 kids and she's just throwing, okay, she's only on vacation with her friend for 2 weeks and then they go home. And she keeps telling her, I'm not interested in you.
I have no time, no serious time for anything else. I laugh it up.
You don't have to explain.
No, for your own good. You don't want to take a chance on a guy who won't.
We were robbed, okay? I don't like how they switched the 2 girls around when it was clear that Ram wanted to go with Connie. But apparently, Paul Newman wanted to do it, but the director just changed his mind at the last moment. I guess people just weren't ready for an interracial relationship at the time. Eddie goes off with Connie, and Connie keeps trying to convince Eddie to move to America. And she's like, oh, life will be good there. We can start a family.
This is a place you run to. And I don't want us running away. I want us to go home and have a family, face what we have to face, and change whatever we have to change.
But he wants to stay here. Like, he's built a life here, and I understand that. Why would a guy just want to up and leave his whole home and his career that he's built in France for a woman he's only known for a week? Like, The way this movie was written, that's the big issue I have with it. Like, what woman in their right mind would want a man to just up and leave his entire life that she's only known him for a week?
And that's something that I wanted to do all my life. I'm doing it. I got my life all arranged like I told you. I got no time for what you want.
They show montages of both couples, meeting up and going on romantic dates and strolls together, and that's really nice. And throughout this whole movie, Ram is constantly telling Lillian that he only cares about his music, and she does not take the hint.
I wanted you, and I think you want me.
But we got to do exactly what we should have done before this thing got started. Call it off.
And thinks that he should up and leave Paris to be with her in America and raise her 2 kids that he's never met, and she's only known him for a week. I know I keep saying they've only known each other for a week, but it's true. Like, that's nuts. Think about this. You want a man to leave his home and come live with you in America and raise your 2 kids that he's never met. Like, what was her plan? Like, when they go to America, she says, hey kids, I found your new dad. Like, that's nuts. Like, that doesn't make any logical sense. Eddie and Connie have this awkward conversation about race while they're in the park having one of their cute little Paris dates. And Connie tells Eddie that he should move to America despite the racial injustice that he faces when he's there.
You want to have fun or you want to discuss the race question? For me, Paris is just fine.
Eddie, you're wrong. You're wrong!
Eddie feels safer living in France, and they constantly argue throughout the whole movie about him leaving his home. In this scene, Eddie also tells Connie that he loves her, and this is the most awkward display of affection I've ever seen.
But I love you. I love you.
And I don't know how she couldn't tell that he was gonna play her for 10 years. Anyways, I will insert the video because it's just weird. Nobody says I love you like that. I'm kind of on the men's side right now. Like, I hate to say it, but it's 1961. I don't blame him if he doesn't want to move to America. Trying to force a stranger to move all the way across the country with you is nuts. Pistachio.
Well, yes.
It's fucking crazy. Like, that does not make sense. I don't know if these girls are just thirsty, but you'd have to be crazy to think that somebody would.
You still want me to go with you?
What happened?
Well, what difference does it make? I mean, if you want me to go with you, I'm going.
Oh. Okay, well, I'm gonna spoil the ending. So, Ram agrees to go to America with her after his dreams are crushed by a Hollywood music producer. He basically tells him that he needs to work on his craft and find his own sound. And you know what? I figured that was really, really rude to give him an interview, make him seem like, oh, he has a chance, just to tell him his music's not good enough. On the other hand, Eddie decides he's gonna move to America with Connie because he doesn't want to lose her. But he says that he needs to stay in France to tie up some loose ends. Rightfully so, because you're deciding to leave your whole entire life to be with somebody that you've only known for less than 2 weeks.
What are we doing? Girl, like, what?
You know what bothers me? Like, this entire movie, not once has any of the girls ever offered to, like, move to France. Like,
Connie, I want you to stay here. See, I want you to stay here with me.
Please don't ask me to do that.
I can't let you go.
Then come with me.
you're not even, you say you're in love with them, but you're not even willing to meet them halfway. Like, maybe stay in France for a few months or something. I don't know. There are subplots of other people that are in the band. Like, there's a guitarist that's in the band and he has a cocaine problem. Yeah. That's interesting part of the movie. I never talk about that because it's not that I hate that part. That is very important, so that's why I'm not really speaking on it. But there is a subplot about a cocaine addict in the movie. At first, the guys resist wanting to move to America. They say they don't want to go, so the women get mad and decide to leave their trip early, the trip that they paid for. I don't understand that. Like, the entire movie, they never like really go sightseeing together when the trip was planned for just the two girls to go out. And they're like, okay, we're gonna leave this trip early since they don't want to move to America with us. And Ram ends up going to see Lillian as she's packing her bags, and she doesn't even question the fact that, oh, all of a sudden he wants to move to America with you, even though the entire movie he's been saying he doesn't even want to be with you. She's like, oh, I'm not gonna fight you. I want you to come with me. because she's desperate, as you can tell if you watch the movie. Please watch the movie, it's worth it. And anyways, so the scene cuts to um Lillian, Connie, and Eddie at the train station. Eddie is seeing Connie off, and Lillian is just standing there waiting for Ram. And I already knew he wasn't going to go with her. So he goes up to Lillian and is like, I just came to say goodbye. I can't go with you. I can't leave my home. I built a career here and I want to focus on my music. And she is pissed. She is not happy about that. But she's nuts anyways, which is pretty obvious. She basically puts a hex on him. No, I'm not joking. She puts a hex on him.
You're not going with me? Will you come over later?
I'm staying here, Lillian. I just came to say goodbye.
Says, you'll never find anybody better than me. And when you walk down the streets, you're going to see my face, but I won't be there.
You're never going to forget me. You're going to walk down the street of wherever you happen to be. You're going to see me. Even when you know I'm not there.
It's just weird. Like, what did you expect from a man that kept telling you that he was not going to commit to you? You only knew him for 2 weeks. Like, when you really lay out the qualifications, like, it was never going to happen. I don't know about Eddie and Connie. That's a different story. They're clearly in love. The scene ends with Eddie and Ram walking away from the trains as Connie and Lillian leave. It leaves a lot of unanswered questions. So does Eddie end up going to America? Or does he stay and continue his love affair with Ram? Who knows? I do think you should watch the movie. It's worth the watch, even for the cinematography of it alone. It's a nice little take on France in the 60s. I do like, there was a lot of I don't want to say gay undertones, but there was a lot of romantic undertones with Eddie and Ram. Like the way they constantly call each other Big Daddy.
Try to pick up in the station today, Big Daddy.
And like the little cute little pet names they have for each other. And I don't know. The way it and then that scene where Eddie's trying to take both of the girls away and Eddie looks at Ram and he's like, "Are you jealous?" Like the way his face looked. And then that scene where Eddie and Lillian are in the coffee shop and Eddie basically tells her, "Look, Ram is not gonna up and leave and go to America with you. He's not gonna be with you. Like, you're not leaving and you're not taking my man. He is never gonna commit to you." And Lillian seems a little bit taken back by that and she goes, "Oh." And he goes, "Yeah, oh." Like, I'm gonna put that scene in so that you get the context, because that shit was like,
He's as steady as a rock about the things that are important to him.
Like music?
Like music.
Oh.
Oh, indeed.
that threw me off a little bit. I was like, damn. And so that's why I think that Eddie kind of had a little bit of feelings for Ram and vice versa, but we're not gonna explore that. This movie was actually a novel first, so the book might be better, might go a little bit in depth in that. I'd have to read it to see. I'm gonna put my letterbox on the screen. If you guys have letterbox, you guys can add me. We'll be mutuals. We'll talk about movies. You guys can recommend me some. I might recommend you some. Yeah. Overall, yeah, I did like the movie, but there were things that obviously I had issues with, and I gave it a 3 out of 5. I'm sorry. I had to give it a 3 out of 5. But yeah. Go watch the movie. Let me know what you thought about it, and if there's any more movies that you guys want me to do commentary on, or even TV shows. Like, I did a poll. I don't know if you guys answered it, and I'm like, I'm not gonna wait for you to answer because I have to do this video today. And so yeah, I'm thinking maybe doing the Bear season 3, or maybe Maxine, because I've been hearing a lot of discourse about that movie. I heard it was bad. And I'll tell you this, I watched X, I watched Pearl. I didn't like either of those movies. I thought it was bad. I think that TikTok creates a lot of hype around movies and characters to where people think, oh my god, this is good. The outfits are good, the makeup is good. Maybe you like the actor, but the movie was bad. And that's okay. It's okay to say that you liked a movie that was bad. It's not always just about the plot. Sometimes it's just the cinematography. Like, I liked I can't really think of anything I liked in X and Pearl. It just was bad. People just like, ride that movie hard because of that scene where she's like, "Oh, I'm a star, I'm a star." And that sound got so popular on TikTok, and then it just ran away, and people became like, "Oh, let's make fan base, let's make edits of her." Movie sucked, and I'm going to guess that this one is going to be bad too. But I will watch it and give it a chance because you never know. Like, I liked Evil Dead, but then when I saw Evil Dead 2, I was like, "Oh, this is the best movie." The movie Suspira, everybody hypes up that movie even though the plot makes no sense. And the movie, it was just stupid, but the cinematography was amazing. Like, I can't deny that. The plot was terrible. Like, the beginning basically is this girl that goes to a school for dancers, and in the school every day one of the girls in there dies, which is weird. Like, why hasn't that been investigated? Like, why is everybody just going on every day like that's a normal thing? And they have like these people, and I don't know, the movie was just fucking weird. I'm not going to go into the plot of it. I'm not going to tell you to watch the movie because you're going to be like, "What the fuck was this bullshit?" But apparently everybody liked it, so maybe you will too. I don't know, maybe I'm just a hater. But beautiful gowns, very beautiful gowns. Yeah, but it just wasn't for me. So I'm gonna watch The Bear season 3, and I will have a commentary for it. And I kind of, the selfish part of me hopes that I don't like it, so that way I can make a video shitting on it. But I love The Bear. I love that show. I feel like the people that are on that show, like, I feel like they're like good people in real life, and I hope I'm not wrong. Whenever a new season of a show starts, I always have to watch like the last season just so I can refresh my mind about what happened. And when I watched season 2 of The Bear, I was like, "Damn, I can't wait for the next season." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to wait forever," but it came pretty fast, okay? And the show aired on my birthday, and another thing aired on my birthday. Lord have mercy. The that debate, I didn't watch like it in its entirety, and I will explain why in another video because I have a vlog from that day. Oh god. I can't wait to see what the reaction will be to that video when I edit it and put it out. Yeah. But like I said, I've have said this before. You know, um just because something is popular doesn't mean it's good. Like, McDonald's is one of the top food chains in America. Their food is shit. Everybody knows that. So, just because I don't like something, don't let that stop you from actually going and watching it. Like, don't let people, persuade you to feel one way about something. You should go and discover the movie for yourself. Like, if I go on Letterboxd and I see, like, okay, this movie has a 3 or it has a 2.5, I'm still gonna watch it. I'm gonna give it a chance because there's maybe one person that didn't like it, but then there'll be another person that did. So yeah, I'm trying to do that thing where you watch a movie a day, but it's hard. I just want to say I'm looking at this poll that I did on my channel, like, live as I'm recording this voiceover, and it's a tie between Maxine and The Bear season 3. So it looks like I'm gonna have to do both because I don't want my people to be starving. I don't want y'all to be hungry. Nobody knows any of the other 3 movies I put out, I guess. So I hope this video does well. I really, really do. I'm like, throw yourself into your work and people will see it and you're gonna get your moment. Everybody constantly has been telling me for years, like, it's gonna happen for you, just wait. So I'm gonna be patient and I'm gonna wait. And I hope that you guys will continue to support me or look at my content, love it, and vice versa. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.